Hey guys, Traveling Agronomist here, and we are back with another season. It's warmed up. We're down in South Texas today. It's 80 degrees. So stay tuned. We're going to take a real in-depth look at planting a test plot with some state-of-the-art equipment today, and we're going to talk a little bit about what our plans are for the whole season. That soil temperature is starting to warm up a little bit. As you can see, we've started planting. We got good moisture. You can see that ridge right there where that planter has placed its seed underneath. We're going for about 1.5 inches deep. We don't want to be too deep, but we want that warm, moist moisture to really jump this out of the ground. We have ground to make up, so it's the beginning of March. Typically, we'd want to be in here around Valentine's Day in February, but with the weather we had, it's just one of the situations we're running into. But with warm weather and warm soils with good moisture, this sorghum will pop out of the ground and catch up to where it should be. Every different crop has a different ideal planting depth. Right here with sorghum, we're probably targeting around the 1.5 inch range. And we can see it right here. This is the seed that was planted. We can see we have really good moisture. You can kind of ball that soil up. So that's indicating we have some pretty good moisture. We have good soil temperatures. We checked those before we started planting. And what we're shooting for in this area of the world and planting population. So that's where a farmer is working to find out how many seeds per acre he's going to be planting. We're targeting about 75,000 to 80,000 seeds per acre. We want to replicate the most productive and economic fit practices for each region that we do these trials in. So for South Texas, we're shooting for 80,000 seeds per acre. We're going to irrigate it to make sure it's a good stand. We're going to hit it with water maybe twice this season to make sure we have a good top-end yield potential and a good plot to look at. And then we're also going to use a lot of pre-emerges. We're going to be looking at some metolachlor and some atrazine pre-treatments. And then on our iGrowth hybrids, we're now going to be using the EmiFlex chemistry that we just got approval of from the EPA. And on those herbicide-tolerant sorghums, we're going to be able to apply that over the top or as a pre-emergent to really give us some good weed control. So we can see here that on the right-hand side of the shot, we see planted rows. We see that ridge. We see the press wheels have kind of pancaked the surface and pressed it down. And what that does is it gives us a really good growing condition for that seed. And what we see on the other side is the bedded up rows. Many parts of the country don't use these furrows like this because they plant flat, typically with a no-till operation. But in regions like this, where we have a tremendous amount of rainfall on an annual basis, and we also do not have a winter, no-till is a little bit more challenging, and these furrows really benefit us as we can irrigate. A lot of flood irrigation occurs. So in this lower part of the row, water will flow through here from the irrigation source, which is on the side of the field that the tractor's on. And so it will run down, fill up, saturate the soil, and then they'll turn it off after the irrigation is complete. But one of the benefits of having the big row is if there is a dry spell and you come in here, just like we're doing now, and you knock off the top of that soil, you can find moist soil underneath. It's a very interesting planter. So Jacob's in the cab, and he's got computer screens and everything in there, reading out seeding rates, fertilizer for the pop-up, and then herbicides as well. And on the back is his team. They are working with small manila envelopes to pack specific size of seeds. So we mentioned 80,000 seeds per acre, but these plots are only 50 or 100 foot long for some of these demos. So we have to measure out the specific amount of seed for each of those plots. And on the back, as you can see them working right now, they rip those bags open, dump them in the container right there that feeds all of those rows as they're planting. It's a 4-row planter. It's a very state-of-the-art planter. It can change hybrids on the fly, populations on the fly, herbicide and fertilizer rates. Everything is done instantaneously by a computer in the cab. And all of it is pre-programmed computer software that Jacob and his team work with in the office. So this is some of the most sophisticated planting equipment that in agriculture. It's being able to pick exactly what you want almost on every square inch of this farm.